It seems like Plarium did an oopsie again, guys, because this is absolutely broken. You are getting no damage. And I repeat, literally no damage. And if you want to control the Head of Mischief, there is literally no better way to do this in the entire game. I am currently on the test server, guys, so I do have access to the new Void Legendary that was added in Sylvan Watchers, Yinchensa Grail Bearer. Hopefully I'm saying her name right. Now, for whoever is not familiar, I already made a different guide on her where I kind of like explain her mechanics and how solid she is. But basically, she has this buff, Poison Cloud. Now, the reason why Plarium did another oopsie is because you can actually extend the duration of this buff. And yes, you are getting no damage because everything will be weak hits. Now, we're going to take her in for a spin in Hydra Clan Boss. We're going to take her in for a spin in the Clan Boss. If you guys watched the previous video that I made on Yinchensa, you guys probably know that I said that I'll be doing a team where we're constantly going to extend the duration of buffs and never run out of it. Now, overall, she does have a very amazing kit. She will bring defense down, she will bring weaken, and this will ignore block debuffs, which is not that important for Hydra or Clan Boss. For Hydra, a little bit with the Head of Rat and stuff. But overall, she's a very, very solid legendary. With the A1, you're going to have the ally with the highest crit damage joining in the attack. And that's basically like a mini ally attack, which is very, very helpful. But enough with the talking. Let's jump straight into the main thing. So we're going to do Clan Boss first. All that you need in here is to have 3 champions that have buff extension. Now, I chose to go with Taras, with Lady Mikage, and with Chris because I have these champions built for the Hydra Clan Boss for the same setup. So I just want to show you how this works in Clan Boss. You can actually bring in champions that extend buffs like Aniri. She's a very good example. You can bring in, for example, different champions like Sunless Survivor. She can extend buffs. You can bring in different champions like Valerie, which I don't have, seems like it. The rare champion, there you go. She can extend buffs. Pretty much any different champion that can extend buffs will be able to run in the team. You need 3 of them to ensure that you're never running out of the buff. Then you need a good damage dealer to basically get you to the damage that you need. Now, I have my champions built on Reflex and Merciless sets to ensure that I'm going to have a good performance for the actual Hydra Clan Boss. You do want to stop the skills that are basically messing up. So the only skill that you want to use on a extender basically will be the one that extends and the A1. Same with every other champion that extends buffs. Now, with Lady Mikage, I'm going to leave in the ally attack because I'm going to get extra damage. And anyway, I'm going to extend these buffs till you're going to get mind blown, you know? So I don't necessarily need to have everything spot on. Yinchensa, she's not even using the defense down and weakening here because we have Turvold and Krisk. And Turvold is not using the A2 just so he doesn't run out of the buff. But let me just quickly show you how this is being done, guys. And once we have the setup, we're going to back out and we're going to do a quick instant battle and see what sort of results we're going to get out of here. On Oro, she's actually amazing, just for the simple fact that she will put the Poison Cloud on every single one of the champions. Now, once you extend that enough, she doesn't use that skill anymore. She's just going to use the A1, which is exactly what you want her to do. So you constantly have those ally attacks from Turvold dropping in big damage or whatever damage dealer you're planning to use. So Wixwell is doing it with the shield. She's doing it with the Poison Cloud. I would say that the shield is still a better option because with this, eventually, the more you go into the run, in the Clan Boss only, in the Hydra works differently. But the Clan Boss basically builds up an aggro of some sort where his attack is constantly increasing. So the longer you go into the run, the more damage the Clan Boss will do, and even the weak hits will slowly increase. But it will take him a while to break the shield. It will take him a while to kill champions. I still haven't done a full run to see how long we are actually going in because it does take quite a bit of time to get it done, you know. Usually, a Clan Boss run can take you like 30 to 60 minutes if the team survives long. But check that out. We have Poison Cloud on everybody. And from here on, we are constantly going to extend it, guys. She's not even going to use that A2 anymore. She's just going to use the A1. I don't need her to put defense down and weakening here. So everything works beautiful. Now, there is one bug in here that I can definitely tell you. The stun is still landing through it. I do think that this is just is just some form of a coding error in the game, because this stun should not bypass immunity, should not bypass stone skin, etc. So seeing it that the clan boss can still land a stun through a weak hit is definitely a bug. You know, it's definitely not something that it should happen. Now, even though that stun lands is not a problem, sometimes Lady Mikage will just take the turn before and cleanse it with her A2. Sometimes she won't, but again, it still won't be a problem. So if you are paying attention, we already have a minimum of 4-5 stacks on everybody. And it's just going to increase more and more and more from here on, guys, which is actually pretty damn crazy, you know. Turn 9, we are already at 30 million damage, and this will definitely bring some disgusting damage, guys. I can already tell you that. And it will make your life easier if you summon this Void Legendary. You already know that Clan Boss is done. Hydra is done. If you want to use her in Arena, awesome stuff, because she will definitely be an amazing support for most of the content. If you're talking about Bommel or different bosses like this, that land debuffs on hits, weak hits won't allow them to land the debuffs, or at least as long as they've coded this right and doesn't happen the same thing that happens right here with the stun, none of those bosses will be able to land the debuffs on you, and that's going to be absolutely massive. I'm still not sure why that stun is proccing, but there you go. We actually had the cleanse in there from Lady Mikage, if I'm not mistaken. I think she got the cleanse in time. And just like that, guys, absolutely brilliant, right? It's just such a broken thing. I'm sure this is something that they do need to work on, because they're just introducing more broken mechanics that later on will come back to bite them, you know? It's just not healthy to have crazy things like this in the game that will overpower teams. Right now, you can't do too many crazy things in this format. Like, big deal. You only need enough damage to one key on the clan boss. You don't need more than that. But who knows what might come in the future, and having mechanics like this in the game will either help us to overcome some difficult challenges, either will just break the game like Pranda and others do when we're talking about specific game modes, you know? So definitely an oopsie again. But you know what? Let me just back out of here. So let's see what sort of damage we got right here. Taras 9.4, and you have Turvold with 45. Now, if we're gonna do a quick battle, because you saw it works perfectly fine on auto, I'm curious to see what sort of numbers we're kicking out of here. Very curious. Like, how far are we going to go with it? For how long we're going to survive, you know? Very curious. We're definitely not going to reach the turn limit. 356 million. I think we've done that before easily. So this is Clan Boss turn 107. Still 356 million damage, and you don't need these champions. That's the good thing. You can literally just bring in the following things. So let me just give you a different example. So let's take these ones out. You have the Void Legendary. Let's just say you're bringing your damage dealer as a Newt, right? So he is the damage dealer. Let's just say one more accessible, amazing champion that we had as a fusion recently. Then we're going to bring in a Godseeker Aniri, which is not a necessity. Valerie, which is in the vault. You can literally use 3 Valeries. You can use 3 Valeries. She extends the duration of buffs with this skill on a 3-turn cooldown. That's it. You don't even need anything else. That's it. 3 of her. You have the Void Legendary. You have Newt. And bang, you easily get a 1-key Ultra Nightmare. Probably you're going to get like 200 plus million damage. Something like that, you know? It's going to be pretty damn crazy to have this running around with the new Void Legendary. But let's head over to Hydra Clan Boss. That's what we're running on the Hydra Clan Boss. How I mentioned, I built it specifically for Hydra. That's why I have Taras, Mikage, and the rest in here. I have Feral, and we have Val the Destroyer. Now, it's going to work in the exact same way. The only thing is, it's going to be way more broken in here, because the Head of Mischief will have no power. The damage does not increase on the Hydra heads the more you are into the run. So this will give you a massive advantage. And I haven't tried it on auto to see if it's gonna do a good job. But let's give it a go and see how is it going to work on auto. You know, very curious to see, because so far I've only tried it on manual, and was still a pretty solid result. You see, the Head of Mischief went for her. it got literally nothing, because a weak hit cannot steal your buffs, cannot steal your thermometer, and there is no 3% chance with the resistance. So this is so much better to control the Head of Mischief. 100%, guys. So much better. But I see no reason why this would not work on Oro. The only thing that I might be concerned of is if by any chance we're going to get too many buffs on some of the champions before we get to put the Poison Cloud on the rest. Now, champions will get devoured in here. Again, that's not a big issue, because once you build up your entire team and one of them will get devoured, you're just going to be able to basically put the Toxic Cloud again on that champion and continue. You know, you don't really have to do anything else. So how many buffs does Krisk have right there? I always start by putting the buff on Krisk. There we go. We managed to keep it on. Beautiful. So the rest of the champions will have enough slots to get the Toxic Cloud on too, not a problem. But this is just crazy, guys. Like, I don't know about you, but I find this pretty damn crazy. So we still have 15 turns left on Val the Destroyer before he's getting devoured. Now we have the Toxic Cloud on Feral as well. So the only two champions that don't have it is Mikage and Val the Destroyer. So once they're gonna get it as well, it's basically job done. And it works perfectly fine on Oro by the looks of it for Hydra as well. Look at that, man. Not being able to do anything, the Head of Mischief not being able to do anything is just so... It's giving me such a big satisfaction, because I hate that 3% chance in the game. I hate it with passion, okay? And this just completely killing that is absolutely amazing. Now, of course, if you're manualing, you're going to be able to use the skills at the right moment to put block buffs on them, to put a provoke at the right moment, etc. So that will improve your damage overall. It will improve the entire team. But either way, look at that. Weak hits. Get those weak hits, Head of Mischief. That's what you deserve. You filthy degenerate head. So now we have the Poison Cloud on every single head, including Val the Destroyer, if I'm not mistaken. I just saw him getting buffed. And we have 10 buffs on everybody. So if you have champions with even cast, they're going to do insane damage now, because they have 10 buffs. So basically, you can max that damage. Of course, Crushing Rend is still better. But look at that, guys. Look at that. Nobody can actually deal any sort of damage versus our team. Like, weak hits, look at that. 259 damage. 259 damage from a Hydra head, guys. What is that? What is that, you know? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Look at that. Turn 22, we are already at 50 million damage. So this team, as you see it right here, it can do 2+ billion damage. We are on hard difficulty. The higher you go, of course, the lower the damage, the faster the Hydra heads will get to move, and the faster they will devour the champions. But then again, that is not a problem whatsoever, because you're gonna see in just a second, once a champion gets devoured, you're rescuing that champion, she's going to buff that champion back, and you're basically going to rinse and repeat the entire process of what we've done so far, you know? Look at this. Look at the buffs. Look at that. What do we have here? So we have 9 turns. We have 10 turns. We have 10 turns. We have 7 turns. We have 7 turns. We have 6 turns. So this will just constantly increase on all of the champions. 80 million damage. Tara's still smacking. He's not even in Savage. But I do have the 6-star Crushing Rend on him, which actually is very strong. Val the Destroyer, he will just out-damage everybody in here, though. And of course, Feral's passive will increase the damage on everybody. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Yin Chensa doing absolutely disgusting things in Raid Shadow Legends. Look at that. Absolutely brilliant. I just want to show you when the champion gets devoured, how quickly it's going to basically get sorted out back without even doing anything. And then we're going to go over the builds just to kind of like get a grasp of what's happening in the background. Val the Destroyer, 1.7 million with a basic skill, just casually dropping in a big amount of damage. Now, my problem right here is that reflect damage. That's the problem on Oro, but now we have Lady Mikage, which again is not going to strip that. But if we are attacking somebody under reflect damage, we're going to get the damage back. So that will be a problem, you know? So I'm just going to wait with any AoE attack for a second, just to make sure that we're not going to get killed. So our champion got devoured. Let's... okay, Taras did not die, which is good. I haven't noticed if the damage that got reflected back came as a weak hit because of the poison cloud, or it came as the whole damage, you know? But either way, he's already back. He's already back under the poison cloud. Val the Destroyer got devoured. She put him back under the poison cloud. And basically, in 15 turns, Krisk is going to get devoured. And is going to basically repeat the entire process again. You rescue the champion, bang, get the poison cloud, and the job done. As simple as that. And the damage is just going to ramp up quite a bit. I love that she has the ally attack on the basic skill. I find that so freaking good. Because once she is buffing everybody enough, she's just going to use the A1, you know? There you go. Ally attack. Okay. Where are we? 135 million damage in 42 turns. When I've done it on manual, I was at 200 plus million damage already. Manual, it does almost double your damage on every freaking single team. It's just crazy. 3 million damage there from Val the Destroyer, bringing in the big numbers. So, yeah, guys, absolutely busted. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think about it? I definitely think that Plarium made an oopsie with this, and maybe they did not thought about the buff extension, or maybe they intended to keep it in the game like this. Now, unlike other teams, extending buffs will not really increase your damage. So the only thing that you can control in here is getting the weak hits from all of the Hydra heads without losing any of your champions, controlling the Head of Mischief. So overall, this is not being classified as busted as a Tranda team that deals 100 plus billion damage on Nightmare, because this will not really enhance your damage. It will keep your team alive longer, which will overall give you more damage, but it's not a direct buff to damage on any single team. So what I want to see right now, if we are using... Okay, so the damage that comes back to you is fully reflected. So you gotta be careful of the reflect damage. That's very, very important. But either way, let's back out of here. Let's see the damage, and then we're gonna go over the builds. So we have Taras with 80 million damage, Krisk with 7.8, we have Yinchenza with 2.6, Firel with 3.7, Lady Mikage with 3.9, and we have Val the Destroyer with 56 million. And that is because we are doing Oro. On manual, Val the Destroyer out damages Taras. That was something that happened in the previous run that I manual myself. Starting with Yinchenza, guys. She's built on a reflex and an impulse set. That will basically decrease the cooldown of her skills, allowing us to get the buffs faster on the team and get the setup much faster. Total stats on her, we have 74k HP, 3.4k attack, 265 speed, 367 accuracy. The good part about it is you need no resistance. 0 resistance for the Hydra clan boss, which is massive because it allows you to build your champions much better. Masteries, I have defense and support just to get more accuracy. I haven't even went for the offense masteries to get War Master, which could benefit her quite a bit because of the AoE. Then we have Lady Mikage, built on a reflex and a merciless set. I don't think you really need them like this, honestly. As long as you have 3-turn cooldowns on all of them, you're going to be fine because you have 3 buff extenders in the team. So that's more than enough. But it's helpful in case if anything goes wrong, you know. So we have 77k HP, 3.1k defense, 264 speed, 339 accuracy. Very similar masteries with what we had on Yinchenza. Then we have Krisk, the same on a merciless and a reflex set. Total stats, 80k HP, 4.4k defense, 261 speed, 290 resistance, 300 accuracy. The resistance doesn't matter how I mentioned because the Head of Mischief will always get weak hits. And masteries, we have offense and support. We have War Master as tier 6. Then we have Taras, the same merciless and reflex set. Total stats on Taras, we have 92k HP, 3.9k defense, 257 speed, full crit, 216 crit damage. My gear sucks, the Merciless, at least for HP Nuker, so I was not able to give him a decent build. Masteries, we have a Ham Smasher as tier 6. These are my arena masteries. I haven't changed them, and I wouldn't suggest you to get different masteries on him, to be honest. They work more, they work perfectly like this. Then we have Turvold, which was used in the Clan Boss, guys. And I have him on a Savage and a Zeal set. These are his total stats. He does have a 6-star Blessing, which is pretty massive. 9.1k attack, 226 speed, full crit, 345 crit damage, 270 accuracy, masteries, offense and defense. We have Ham Smasher as tier 6. And then we have Val the Destroyer, which was the last champion that we haven't showcased. And he's built on a Merciless set. And these are his total stats right here. 8k attack, 200 speed, 99 crit, 315 crit damage, 271 accuracy. And the masteries, again, Ham Smasher as tier 6. And I went on support just to basically get a bit of extra accuracy. That's it, guys. This is broken. I do want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Thanks again for watching the video, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.